to the bold analysis. I have watched Rigathi Gachagua 2 days rallies in Mount Kenya. And there is one observation I have made, that the one-term chants are a bit more organic and the enthusiasm of the masses compared to the procured two-term chants that are normally done when President or Kindiki is hosting a delegation. I've made that comparison, and in this podcast, that is what exactly I want to demonstrate to you, why William Ruto is struggling to neutralize that one-term wave. That is something that if you watched, if you really followed, I can tell you and I can ask you to watch this podcast, because that perspective is going to come out here very clear. But before that, guys, I want to still just come back to you that in this month of September, I was requesting us to rally behind this project, supporting these 4 stranded students. These students are actually coming from very disadvantaged families. 2 were supposed to be going to university, but that could not be possible because financial constraints, despite the fact that their parents, they actually got C+. The other one is already in MKMTC, joined in May, but is stranded of semester 2 fees. And the girl is in a girls' school, is studying in a girls' school in Runyenjes, Embu, but also is having challenges za kulipa fees after babake aliweza kupass in an accident. So that's why I reached out to you, that we're looking to support their education this month. We really wanted to make sure that we can sort them out, and I want to say thank you very much for those who have responded. Now, because I've not been able to achieve the target, I've had them to extend it until tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, so that on Tuesday morning, all that we shall have collected, we shall then dispatch the team just to make sure that they are sorted out. So as I talk to you, I have a deficit of 170,000. So we have until today, from today into tomorrow, so that on Tuesday to apeleke. I'm just requesting, even if you can do a 50 bob challenge. I think with so many, kama tunaweza donate 50-50, I know we can be able to achieve that target so that we can actually accomplish that project. And thank you very much for responding. I've always asked that you guys, we come together for something every month. And this month of September, I stopped the other projects that were there in the line so that we could actually respond to a call to educate a child. This is a call to educate a child, and kindly let's support. Now, I want us to get to the analysis. You will understand that one-term chants compared to the 2-term chants, the 1-term chants looks a bit more organic. And to give you a clear comparison, can you look at the Githurai rally here vis-a-vis the meeting that President Ruto was holding in State House, where Kithure Kindiki was trying to force the teachers there to chant 2-term. I want to make the 2 comparisons, and you will see that the 1-term, I don't know whether it's easy to say 1-term than 2-term, but one comes out a bit more organic.
Harambe! Wewe Ruto! Wewe Kasongo! Wewe Kaongo! Wewe Zakayo! Wewe mwizi! Wewe muuaji! Wewe mpora nchi! Harambe! Kasongo ende asiende! Kasongo ende asiende! Atembee asitembee! Wagapi nasema Kasongo ende, Kasongo ende, Kasongo ende, Kasongo! Harambe!
Ni 2-term. Walimu ni 2-term. Walimu ni 2-term. Wacha nione wale wanasema walimu ni 2-term, walimu ni 2-term, walimu ni 2-term. Walimu ni two-term, walimu ni two-term, walimu ni two-term. Your Excellency, ni walimu wamesema. Mimi nili.
And this is what I was addressing. That those who are supporting the one-term clarion call, they're doing it more easily and more enthusiastic about it. And that one-term clarion call is something that is coming out, and that's what I want us to look at. Now, yesterday there was some festival in Nakuru. Two things happened. When Medhu attended alongside PS Karanja Kivisho. PS Karanja Kivisho comes from Kirinyaga. Medhu comes from Nyandarua. Karanja Kivisho is actually a long-time Uhuru Kenyatta ally after they worked when they served as the PS for Interior for quite so long. So, and when Medhu was given microphone, I wanted to see how the one-term chant, the crowd erupted in the one-term chants. Now, this is what I mean. I wanted to compare those two incidences to the two-term. Ideally, let me describe to you where you can hear two-term. You will only hear two-term when a meeting is held in State House. People have actually been paid, and even with branded shirts, and a leader must trigger them to chant two-term. And you will not, and by the way, I'm a bit interested in a social gathering. I don't want to believe that. I want to believe even pro-government people also attend these social gatherings. When there is a festival or marathon somewhere, that there is two-term chants. Compared to the one-term. One-term utasikia watu wakiwa Kambao watu wataimba one-term. Watu wakiwa kwa soko wataimba one-term. I'm yet to look at that. Where there is one people chanting two-term and either Kindiki or Ruto is not present there. If it is not in State House, then it is in some economic empowerment forum where people have also been mobilized and paid to attend. And let's pay attention to this incident here. Why it's becoming a bit of a challenge for the president to handle Gachagwa's one-term movement. Rigathi Gachagua today went to Kandara. Kandara, the CS is the home to the CS Alice Wahome. Alice Wahome, there was an election that was done and Chege was elected as the UDA MP. When Muranga delegation went to State House, Chege did not go to State House. I've forgotten the first name. Someone can get to the comment section and remind me the first name. So, do you know he defected and officially joined Rigathi Gachagua? But when Rigathi was there, Rigathi spoke about Alice Wahome in government and is very uncomfortable.
Hata huyu mama wetu Alice Wahome anatumiwa na Kasongo vibaya. Si mnajua? Huyu mama amehangaika, mimi nakwambia. Nikiwa pale deputy president, aliwekewa PS Mukaleji. Ruto haongei na yeye, anaongea na huyo P. Sasa alikuwa anakuja kwangu, anasikia Ruto na PS wamepanga mkutano, hana habari. Sasa Alice wetu amekaa tu pale. Hana kitu anafanya, hawesaidia mtu, anahangaishwa, ananyamaza tu. Na kwa sababu ni mama yetu mzee, nikamwambia vumilia tu hapo ukule mshahara kwa sababu ya watoto. Si ndio? Si ndio? Alice avumilia, sivumilie. Avumilie tu kwa sababu alisaidia huyu mtu, lakini mtu amehangaisha Alice. Alice hana sauti. iko PS anaitwa Nixon Koril, ndio mwenye kusema pale.
Now, as someone who have been analyzing Kenya Kwanza administration, I know this story very well. If there is story najua ni hii vizuri sana. There was a time Alice Wahome, before aende kwa Ministry of Lands, alikuwanga Minister of Water and Irrigation there. Then there were some projects, and by then the PS under that ministry was Rono. Sahi ako kwa agriculture. So your time kulikuwa na story kwamba there was some money for irrigation, some dam or something that was supposed to go to Mount Kenya that was rerouted to Machakos or Ukambani. And it brought, some friction. Before then, a decision was made, a reshuffle was made, and Alice Wahome was taken to the Ministry of Lands. And it is indeed true that in the Ministry of Lands, it is PS Korir. Now, we are really waiting for the time the CS Wahome would actually come out and disparage, discredit Rigathi Gachagua. I'm a bit more convinced that Rigathi Gachagua is not just talking. He's actually saying something that is so much certain about. And remember, he's saying, I told the CS to remain there, not to resign. But it's talking about this discontent. This discontent has always been there. Now, I have realized this. President Ruto has been playing village politics. And this is the village politics. This is the reality. The Mama Mbogas and the people, the folks that normally go to, if you look at these videos, if you look at these people, these are videos of those people arriving. If you look at them, William Ruto invited 8,000 people from Kiambu, 6,000 from Muranga. Do you want to tell me that those 6,000 are grassroots leaders? Kiambu as a county has 6,000 grassroots leaders? No. So what happened is that it is a scientific, not scientifically, it is a targeted, the crowd is targeted mobilization by the chief, county commissioner, and that line to Mlango. And they pick the vulnerable. Let me tell you, through the charity work, I'm privileged to have gone different parts of this country. And let me tell you, there are families that have never seen 10,000. And let me give you an example. Do you guys remember the house we built in Embu? The first one, ya Virginia. Yule mwenye alikuwa na watoto watatu ambao wawili hawakuwa naona na walikuwa na challenges. When I spoke to Virginia, we actually established that her income in a month could be less than 2,000 shillings. Tell me, if you give Virginia 10,000 in State House, Aujam win? And that is why, you see that money, people are even asking, why do you think it is 10,000? Si umetoa transport. Si tu amekuja na transport. Si umetoa transport. Why pay 10,000? Yes, they are hustlers, but why pay 10,000? Why not 5? Why not 2,000? First, why are you paying? Because the payment is actually a bribe. Let me tell you, if you're paying someone because ameacha kazi yake akakuja State House, ukamlipa 10,000, kwani huyu mtu unataka kuniambia wale watu wote walitolewa from the villages, they're making 10,000 a day, that if they don't work for that day, you pay them 10,000? Anyway, we are not complaining because it is taxpayers' money, and so maybe people ate their own taxes. But again, they ate their own roads, dawa kwa hospitali, SHA primary health care. That is what they ate. Now you will understand, because of that targeted the village politics, we can have the political analysis. We can find the folks in Twitter. We can find some young people in Facebook. But our mothers are not in Facebook. Our mothers are not even listening to these podcasts. And it is the team that they target. Now, that is the politics Rigathi Gachagua is doing. And that is what I've been saying here. That Kalonzo Musyoka cannot just be sitting in hotels pretty comfortable talking about we are in a crisis. William Ruto will have to go. We cannot do that. You must go down and mobilize the vote. You must go down and talk to mwananchi. And truth be said, we said in this podcast we're very practical. Rigathi Gachagua is working tirelessly. Mgala muwe hakimpe. Tirelessly. Look at what he has done for the 2 days. President Ruto aliita delegation ya State House. Rigathi amemake round moja. Just Saturday evening and Sunday. And he's really shaken the ground. We have other people here like Matiang'i, and we have Moses, we have Wetangula, we have, I don't know, Natembea, we have Eugene. President Ruto meets delegation from Kisii and Nyamira. Nothing. President Ruto meets delegation from Machakos, I don't know where. Nothing. Wanapatia Rigathi kazi ngumu sana. So really, even as hata ukitaka kupewa, lazima you work for it. Now, if I want to tell you the president is targeting the village folks, and it is a mess, and his messaging, I want us to pay attention to this. Do you think, why is it that 3 years after we did an election, and William Ruto was given power, is it today that is realized that he has the degrees and diplomas? Why is he talking about education competence to validate his presidency?
Unajua, mimi nimepata nafasi. And a very unique one. Number one, wale walinitangulia, wengine walikuwa wazee, mimi si mzee. I'm a young person. Mimi niko na experience ya kutosha. Nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Nimekuwa naibu wa rais miaka 10. Kuna experience nyingine mimi nangojea. Mimi nimesoma. Na nimesoma vizuri. I am probably the most learned president has ever elected. Kenya has ever elected. Sindio? So mimi nangojea nani?
I saw my former boss yesterday bragging how educated he is. When we look at the one saying how educated he is, he has a PhD in lies and deception. He has masters in corruption, theft, and bribery. Bachelor's degree in abduction, extrajudicial killing, and ordering for people to be shot in the leg. The man has a diploma in mismanagement and destruction of working institutions. And he has a certificate in wash, tribalism, and dividing the mountain.
Watch out zile details unapeana ndio ingie State House. Now, tell me why Ruto yuko so comfortable ku-invite everybody kwa State House na anawapea pesa, knowing very well hawa watu wanamkula pesa, because obviously wanamkula pesa wakijua hawatampa kura. But why is he so comfortable? I mean, hakuna mtu anamwaganga pesa mahali hana intention ya kurudisha hiyo pesa. Mnaget? You can't invest where you won't reap. So, nyinyi endeleeni kwenda tu State House. Kuleni tu pesa. But hizo details mnapeana ndio mwende State House, mkubaliwe kuingia hiyo State House. Maybe, just maybe, inaweza tumika kufanya madhambi ikifika 2027. Be careful. Na since pesa mlisema hamwezi wacha, hata ikwe ni nini, hata kama ni hell inapatikana, ni sawa. But I'm just not okay with the fact that Ruto anawapea pesa na anajua tu vizuri, deep down anajua hawa watu wanataka tu kunimanga do, hawatanipea kura.
You know, until he has to parade. I'm very sure the next morning, the next day, he might even come with a printed CV with the papers to tell you how he has the masters and this and that. Why do you think he's using that, the issue of nimesoma? Why? He's doing that because he's seeking validation from the village folks. Two things, not two, three. The first one is this. The president is not the most learned in this country. Watu wamesoma. Watu wamesoma. Hey! Hey. It's true. In fact, his deputy, akiongelea masomo, people hata wanaweza elea. And that's number one. Number two. The election, the ballot was not decided because the president has a master's or degree or whatever. That was not the decision factor. In fact, he presented himself as mtu mwenye ni hasla tu. Haku present himself as mtu amesoma. Hakusema hiyo. And again, this is the truth. Running a government, it is not on papers, on masters, on this and that. It's too Kibaki ni president akuwa amesoma sana. Even Uhuru Kenyatta did political science. But did that stop Uhuru Kenyatta from building expressway? He did expressway. He did SGR. The success of a government is not on president's competence in terms of papers. It is just the goodwill for the system to work. The problem in this country is not because we don't have, that we have a president mwenye hajasoma. No, that's not the problem. The problem here is the system has never worked. Let me tell you. And so this is to prove that probably is a one-man show. So because I feel the end amesoma kuliko kila mtu, so he can run the show. Someone is saying, Ruto's PhD is purely show-off. Here is a man who has never rendered a professional services anywhere in the world. Yes, umesoma, lakini sasa hiyo experience umeitumia wapi kwa serikali? I realized something happened in Mombasa. Why the two-term guys are struggling. There was a meeting in Mombasa and they did some small rally. And Sifuna said he does not know broad-based. Those people, and he said it and then left. Then it was the turn for Junet to defend broad-based government. Junet, the things Junet was saying about broad-based, the thing Junet was saying, you really wonder.
Nimesikia katibu mkuu ya chama nafikiri ameenda akisema ya kwamba yeye hajui mambo ya Ruto. Sisi ndio tunajua mambo ya Ruto. Yeye labda hajui kwa sababu yeye siku hizi anatembea na mama anaitwa wa Mshomba. Unajua wa Mshomba haelewi mambo ya Ruto na haelewi mambo ya broad based na haelewi mambo ya ambayo inaelekea wapi na imetoka wapi. Sasa ukitembea na wa Mshomba utajua namna gani mambo ya broad based. Huwezi kujua. Sasa yeye nimesikia sasa hapa amesema mimi sijui mambo, hiyo ni kweli yake. Na yeye ndio secretary general yetu lakini hajui mambo ya Ruto. Sisi ndio tunajua mambo ya Ruto na tuko katika broad based government. Si namna hiyo?
Na nataka niwaambie wote wajue sisi kama watu wa huku, mimi kama waziri wa serikali hii tumeamua hatutoke serikali kwanza, pili tunajipanga 2027 tuko na rais wetu 2032 tukitaka hicho.
He's not just nogaleering the broad-based, but without a very strong point as to why he's actually supporting that broad-based. And guys, look at this video. Do you remember when the public raised their voices against building the church? Hawa wenye wamekaa kwa hiyo hapo, that is the members wa hiyo State House chapel. Hiyo ni chapel ya State House. Unakumbuka ile kanisa ilikuwa ijengwe? That is the number we wanted to build a big chapel for. Hawa ndio tulikuwa tunataka kuwajengea chapel ya pesa. You know, sometimes you look at things you're like, what's wrong with us? We wanted to spend a lot of billions to build a chapel for those wale wenye nimeona kwa hiyo chapel are less than 50. And you see now it was taxpayers' money on wastage. And then you talk about two-term. Now, clearly this is why those William Ruto's efforts to neutralize two-term are actually backfiring. This is it. The campaign, the two-term campaigns are riddled with wastage. When Kindiki is holding the empowerment forums, he's campaigning for two-term. In those campaigns, we are seeing MPs donating millions. And the public is asking, our money is being misused. Then, that was Kindiki doing. Now it came to president. After meeting these people, those chamas huko, sasa it came to State House. Delegation, another wastage. So, even all that is this being done, hata watu wanaona, unajua kuna watu ukiwapatia pesa wanajua unawabribe, hata kama wanajua umewasaidia. Because the truth is this, hiyo pesa hata ukiwapatia 10,000, not that they have it. Isha. So, you bribed them. So the political bribe aspect is there. So the two-term campaigns borders a lot of wastage of taxpayers' money. And because of that, president's critics are finding it easy to find loopholes to discredit those two-term campaigns. That's the first problem. The second problem is this. The achievement pitch is very complex. I know the president is calling the audience to State House to tell them what he has done. You'll understand that when he speaks about affordable housing, in this country, no one ever had a problem with the house. So even if you come and you tell us you've built 200,000 houses, no one normally have a problem with that. Hata kunanga shida ya hiyo. The problem has been the principal contributor is not the principal beneficiary. I saw a charter being signed in State House that teachers are told 20% of the houses in affordable housing will be given to them. But even as you sign the charters, the charter is not, there's nothing, nowhere written in the charters that even as 20% is set aside for you, you are not going to pay the deposit of 600,000 that is needed. So, hata leo useme, hata ukuje useme that nimeweka 20% for probably doctors. The problem is not what percentage that is set aside for who. The problem is, this is taxpayers' money. By then, sometimes I wonder, when president is bragging about affordable housing, what is his input? What is his input? He's just a ceremonial, a prefect in that class. But what is his input? The land ni ya serikali bure, si ati land ni yake. Pesa ni ya Wakenya bure. Really? You know, if you went out and got investors na ukakuja ukaweka, unaweza sema nimefanya. But what is his input? If you talk about SHA, the question has been, have you solved the real problems? Sai, naongelea about chronic illness. Sai, I have a WhatsApp message hapa ya msichana anataka usaidizi. 2.3 million amekwama Kenyatta. Now, President has completely failed to address the youth question. And I've listened to his speech talking about digital jobs, jobs abroad, this and that. Those things don't sink.
Wakati nimefika hii ofisi mlinituma, nikakuta wakora wamejaa hapa, wanaibia watu pesa. Naambia wewe, nitakupeleka Dubai, anakunyang'anya pesa, unapelekwa Dubai, badala ya ile kazi uliambiwa, unapatiwa kazi nyingine ambaye ni ya tabu. Wanapeleka watu sehemu fulani. Hawa wakora wote, National Employment Authority, nikafanya clean up. Tukaondoa kampuni karibu 100 ambazo zilikuwa kampuni za utapeli. Tukasign bilateral agreement. Nikasema kabla Mkenya hajaenda nchi yeyote, lazima tuwe na makubaliano kati ya serikali ya Kenya na hiyo nchi. Na sasa tumeweka mtaratara ya sawasawa kwamba Mkenya yeyote anaenda kufanya kazi nje ya Kenya, lazima tujue anaenda kufanya kazi gani, analipwa pesa ngapi, tuko na atashughulikiwa namna gani, na akipata shida tutamrejesha nyumbani kwa njia gani. Tumeandikiana ama kusign bilateral labor agreement na nchi 19. Sasa wacha niwaeleze. In the last 2 years, miaka ngapi? 2. Kwa sababu tumenyorosha, hata ukipata tu barua ya kufanya kazi nje ya Kenya, tunakipatia passport na siku 2. Zamani walikuwa wanatafuta passport mwezi 2, mwezi 3.
People, those things don't sink. And I think lastly, the dark side of protest, the fact that protesters were killed. And hapo ameshindwa kwa sababu alikuja kuform that compensation committee and then kesi koti kairusha nje. I've not seen him respond to it. I've not seen him talking about it. And that is one part that he can say everything, but Wanjiko will ask you, who is going to live in that house if you can be shot in the leg? Thank you, and kindly support our project to support these stranded students. Thank you.